Welcome back to the Tech Shack, to a different kind of video. Today we have our first ever review sample. This is sent from Wavelink. This is an AX3000 Wi-Fi 6 outdoor access point, the HD9S. This was sent for free, but no money changed hands, so they have no say in the review. Now I really wanted to get my hands on this guy because it has 6 antennas. Now most of the stuff I deploy, even the enterprise grade stuff, the AX series, still only have like 4 antennas at most. So having 6 antennas is going to make a huge difference in mesh mode and in repeater mode, because you're going to have more dedicated antennas for backhaul. All right, it supports just about everything you could want to support, passive and active PoE. All right, we're going to try out all the different modes. Now, if you have an existing WAVLINK access point and WAVLINK router, you can just pair them with one button. All right, but if you don't have their ecosystem, you can use the little web UI and configure everything yourself for no matter what your network is. You can drop this in. We currently have 6 acres here of Wi-Fi coverage, so I want to put this up against some of my other outdoor access points to see how far I can really push this thing's range. All right, let's get this thing open. This feels really premium. 6 antennas. Has the wall mount where I'm pretty sure you just run zip ties through here if you want to use it as a pole mount. Assume this is going to be the PoE injector. Yeah, one of them. Really basic one. But it does support active and passive, so it will work with any passive PoE injector or with an active PoE switch. Way better waterproofing too than any of the others. Actually, TP-Link and Unify started copying this, but they've been using this since the N series Wi-Fi or the AC. And then if you're using their ecosystem, there's a pairing button down here, but we're not. We're gonna have to manually configure this. Yeah, and then they include these if you're going to pole mount it. We are not. And then yeah, 6 antennas are labeled 5 gigahertz and 2.5, and it's labeled on the side of here where to put them. Alright, I got all the antennas in. I love that it has low gaskets. This is definitely very premium feeling. Alright, it has a gasket for the network connection that everybody started copying, but these guys have been using from the beginning. The only thing I don't like is this plate right here is permanent. It is not removable. They give you this stencil. Every other outdoor access point I've used, that plate snaps in and out, and then you just screw the plate to the wall and snap in your access point. Alright, so until we permanently set it up on the house, we're not going to use that. I'm going to probably zip tie this to a pole outside to test the range and everything direct connected from here, and then we'll put it in mesh mode on the side of the house and see how it does there. Alright, let's get going.
Setup is super easy, probably the easiest I have ever set up. To pair it with your existing WAVLINK access points, you can press the large rubberized waterproof button on the bottom once. You can also hold this button for 6 seconds to reset it back to factory. To set up from scratch, just connect to the open Wi-Fi with your phone and it will prompt you to open a browser and set it up. You can also purchase a separate WAVLINK hardware controller and PoE switch if you prefer the more home lab-like solution.
Alright, this is kind of just a temporary setup. Super temporary, but I just want to see how far down that road we can go before the Wi-Fi drops. Alright, let's see how far we can go for the Wi-Fi drops. Alright, it says it's still connected. Shows them on Starlink. Oh, it dropped. All right, let's go back to that berm right there. As you can see, we are over a quarter mile away and still connected. This is insane. Still on Starlink, SpaceX. Yeah, quarter mile away. Now imagine if I had something with real antennas and not this thing. 40 megabits down. What are we gonna do up? Up's probably not gonna be good because of the terrible, like, it's gonna be more dependent on the antennas in this device versus that thing's. Wow. Oh my God. This was not what I was expecting, honestly. I wasn't expecting maybe single digits. Yeah, disconnects right past here somewhere. You'll start dropping. But still, with barely any battery left in this thing, I'm over 40 megabits, over a quarter mile away, probably pushing a half mile away, because this entire road is a little over a mile. Wow. Quarter mile away. It's insane. For this, for the antennas in this, imagine if there was another one of these down here. All right, now that we've seen what insane range the device has, we're actually going to replace this access point on the side of the house and the main access point in the house with just that new Wavelink access point right here.
Setting up as a repeater or manual mesh configuration is easy. Just click change modes when you log in at initial setup. Click the mode you want, then choose the SSID you want to connect to. Enter its credentials and the SSID you want to broadcast as, and that is pretty much it.
Alright, basically they want you to mount this using this little guide here, and then you put in 4 screws to kind of hang it like a picture. Yes, Lucas, got my 2-year-old out here helping me today. And I didn't want to do that. So what I did is I took the mount that I'm using for my CPE, I moved it up here. Alright, this is held in with decking screws, and then we're going to zip tie the CPE to that like it's a pole. Alright, ready, Lucas? Alright, so we got it all installed. This is really good connection. The way they're waterproofing on this is just bar none. Like, all the other companies are starting to copy them, but Wavelink has been using it since the M300 days. Got that cable all cleaned up, got the old access point down, so now there's just one cable that goes in under the crawl space and up into the utility closet, into the PoE switch. So this supports both passive and active PoE. All right, let's go into the closet now. All right, so it comes up here into this PoE switch, and as you see, it's the only thing in this PoE switch because I have, in fact, removed all the other access points that feed off the house because the coverage and the speed is that damn good. All right, all these cables are still here. I got to take them out. The old CPE only supported passive PoE, so I actually had to have 2 power adapters there. So I'm in the process of getting this one gone. That one's coming down. Yeah, the performance was that good. All right, so let's get into the numbers.
So long-range testing went exceptionally well. Wavelink's documentation lists its max effective range at 300 meters. And we found that was a modest estimation. Max range, I would consider it reliable as a standalone access point, was at 1320 feet, which is about 403 meters or a quarter mile. At that distance, I was getting a reliable, stable 45 megabit down with fair Wi-Fi signal strength on a Pixel 7a. At 1,584 feet or 482 meters, the phone could still connect, but would ignore the connection for data use as it rated the connection poor. Forcing the phone to use the Wi-Fi anyway resulted in single-digit down and then fail when trying to run the upload test. At 1,743 feet or 531 meters, or a third of a mile, the phone would still see the network but fail to connect. While I have devices capable of miles of range, those are directional CPEs. To have a standard Wi-Fi access point with radial antennas getting over a quarter-mile range is exceptional. As for speed testing, I only have Starlink, which is usually around 200 megabit with 300 megabit occasionally. So to fully test the speed, I did a data transfer to my server. From my Pixel 7a negotiating at X1200, I could read and write to the server at around 600 megabit, double what I would get with my AC1350 access point in the shop. Using a USB 3.1 AX Wi-Fi adapter, my workstation could transfer to the server at 933 megabit, approaching the limits of the gigabit uplink. Switching to repeater mode and installing on the side of house also yielded great results. I took down all the access points and the CPE on the house. I had this Wavelink access point repeat the CPE that is installed on the shop and feeds the house. Instead of repeating its bridge SSID, I had it repeated as house. This is the SSID that everything on the property, not business related, is set to connect to. Now this CPE is only wireless and an AC standard capable, and only 5 gigahertz, so the Wi-Fi6 ability to switch between bands and combine bands for maximum bandwidth is not going to be possible for backhaul or repeating in this scenario. Basically, we are taking a 5 gigahertz only AC standard backhaul and converting it to 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi6, which it did exceptionally well. Now only receiving AC at 5G from the CPE resulted in a locked 444 megabit uplink back to the shop, but all the AX devices in the house that connected to the Wavelink AX access point reported as negotiating at the AX standard. This replaced 3 access points and the CPE, with the Wi-Fi coverage increasing and the speed increasing. While the CPE broadcasting from the shop is gigabit capable, the smaller client CPE we installed on the house only has a 10-100 network ports, meaning the house was always hardware limited to 100 megabit. Now with the Wavelink access point installed on the house, my 3 gamer daughters get the full Starlink speed instead of being throttled to 100 megabit. It is single-handedly taking over the coverage of 3 access points and the backhaul of the previous CPE.
Alright, so it's actually been a few days. This thing has run excellent. I know in the video, the slide I showed, I took down 3 access points. In the video I said I was taking down 2. That's because prior to them sending me this unit, the 3rd access point that bookended this house had actually stopped working, and that's where I thought this thing was going to end up living after the review. But this thing has done a phenomenal job replacing not only all 3 access points, but providing the backhaul between here and the shop to the CPE. Included PoE injector. Through testing, it does support gigabit. It is a decent little power injector. I do like the little power button on top, so you can power cycle it if you need to, but I plan on putting a server back in that utility closet, so I wanted to keep the PoE switch, and it was already there for all the other access points that we no longer need, because this thing is that damn good. All right, I know I talked about this rubber gaskets, but I actually forgot to mention these. All right, these are really heavy rubber gasket. They've prevented all the water from egressing in there, way better than their competition. Now I know it's also critical about the non-removable backplate, but compared to some of the other ones with removable backplates, I kind of get it. It seems like it was a build quality decision, as the removable backplates seem to lack the rigidity and the strength that this is going to offer. And that kind of sums up what this device is. And no compromises, high performance access point with a range and speed that is unmatched at its class. But that is it for this low quality video. I will see you guys in the next one.
A special shout out to the Net Guy Reviews for sending us 2 GoPros to assist with filming this and improve the production quality. You are a gentleman and a scholar, and we thank you.